when I was in the fitness industry because it's so powerful. And I share this with you today because my intention for you today is to relieve you of the pressure of having to be able to solve your client's weight loss puzzle. That actually is not our job, but I will touch on what our job is. We were all born naked. Hopefully we were all born naked. We were all born hopefully somewhat fat. We were all born unafraid and basically happy. And we all learned to become afraid. We've learned that fat is unattractive and we shouldn't have any on our body. And we've learned to stop loving our bodies. And so much of our clients' weight loss puzzle is based on the stories that they have brought into their life based on their experiences today. And every one of us is the same. We all have a story today that is based on all of the experiences that we have accumulated to date. And I'm going to segue into a story about 100-pound weight loss, which is basically I'm going to try to encapsulate the entire session today in this woman's story. About 18 years ago, a lady came to me, she phoned me, because back then, that's how you contacted people. And she said, hey Mia, listen, you were recommended, I have a project that I want to take on and I want to lose 100 pounds. And you don't get that very often, so I'm like, okay, you have my attention, let's meet. So we picked a place to meet. I was there ahead of her prepping and she came through the door and she was a big girl. A big girl. So she had 100 pounds to lose, but she didn't just have 100 pounds to lose, she was a big girl. Big shoulders, big hands, big feet, big head. And I remember so distinctly, and this is so important, what she was wearing. She had on the rattiest Cotton Ginny t-shirt. Anyone know Cotton Ginny from like the 1980s? The rattiest Cotton Ginny t-shirt, the rattiest Cotton Ginny pants, a little flat pair of LA Gears that clearly had no support, and she had the tiniest little gold watch on. And I don't know why that impacted me so intensely, but it did to this day. So she came in, she sat down, and I said, hey, Tracy, so great to meet you. Tell me a little bit about what it is you're thinking. And she said, you know, Mia, I'm gonna be 50, and for my 50th, I wanna lose 100 pounds. And I'm like, how old are you? She's like, 49. I'm like, when's your birthday? Because if it's next month, it's gonna be a problem. She's like, no, it's a year from now. This is my 1-year project. I've got this thing kind of figured out. 1 year from now, I want to be 100 pounds lighter. So I said to her, what's behind the goal? What's behind the project? And she said, you know, I have 2 teenage kids. I have one that just graduated and one that's about to graduate. And it's clear that I am not modeling what I want my children to see in me. I want to be the best role model that I can be for my kids. And she said, the other thing is, it's clear if I don't do something about this weight soon, I'm going to start to have health problems. So I really want to lose this weight and get healthy. So right away I just thought, this is magic. This woman wants to lose weight, to be a great role model, and to get healthy. So I said to her, well, why don't we start by doing a 2-week food journal? She's like, no need. I've already hired a nutritionist. I've already lost 10 pounds, and she's going to work with me on the nutrition if I can work with you on the exercise component. So I thought, this person's actually enrolled in her own project. Half my work is done. So I was just like, this is brilliant, amazing, beautiful, let's do it. So she hired me on the spot to work with her twice a week for a year, and I would outline everything else that she needed to do outside of those 2 times a week. Long story short, a year goes by, she's 100 pounds lighter. We've been through many things together in that year, and I'm taking her for lunch. But first, we're gonna go for our little 5K run before we do our lunch. And when I met her, this is what I saw. She walked in, she had a pair of $150 running shoes on. She had a pair of the most expensive night tights at the time, a Wicking t-shirt, pair of Oakleys, of course, a running hat, and her $250 heart rate monitor watch on. And that was why her first impression and this impression were so powerful for me, because it was so insidious that I didn't notice it was happening. And the beautiful thing about this person, her name is Tracy, she never ever had a problem with this project because it was never a goal. She removed the finish line by never saying, my goal is to lose 100 pounds. What she said is, a year from now, I want to be the best role model I can be for my kids, and I want to be healthy. That meant she could go on forever. So I had to ask her, I'm like, Tracy, we've worked together for a year now. We know each other pretty well. I'm so confused. She's like, with what? And I'm like, you're a single mom raising 2 kids, you don't work, you've hired me, you've got all these beautiful clothes, we've got all these events together. How did you do that? Anyone want to guess how? Sorry? She robbed a bank? She won the lottery?
Streetwalker?
Streetwalker, not a pole dancer? Pardon me? She sold her story? Very close. She was a Harlequin romance writer. And I wrote a book called On a Desperate Journey about dysfunctional eating, and I dedicated it to her. She was an amazing woman. So the first thing I want to share with you is that concept of removing the finish line for your clients is amazing. It's truly amazing. Goals are important. They will get you to where you want to go, but we're going to talk about values and metrics. If we can decipher the difference between a value and a goal, it's really going to change the finish line for our clients. So what's a diet? You know, next to healthy values, one of the most important things we can give to our clients and our children. Who's a parent here? This is so important. One of the most important things we can give our children besides healthy values is a super healthy relationship to food. Right? Does everyone agree? It's actually the food industry, the diet industry, our upbringing, and our social pressures that create this dysfunctional relationship to food. I feel so bad for food. It's like, what did I do wrong? I'm just here to feed you. So with a lot of the experiences that our clients are going through with weight loss, there's an X equals Y component. Do you know what I mean by that? I have to have X to get Y. When I'm 25 pounds lighter, I will go on a dating app or whatever. When I'm 10 pounds lighter, I'll get pregnant. When I lose 2 dress sizes, I will go to my grad reunion. The X equals Y component puts the brakes on life. How many of you guys have clients who you've experienced this with? I will do something when I do something. I was married to one of those. Over a process of, I want to say about 6, 7, 8 years, he was an incredible athlete. And over the process of 7 or 8 years, he probably gained 60 pounds. And every 6 months, I will do X when I do Y. I will do X when I do Y. And it always was weight related. Meanwhile, the weight continued to go up until eventually I could see that the X equals Y formula was flawed and it was never ever going to work. So what is a diet? A diet is anything that restricts us. And when we restrict anything in life, it is called mental anguish. And when we create an environment of mental anguish, what is it that we do with that? Bury it? And how do we bury it?
How do we bury it? Through our thoughts and our beliefs.
Through your thoughts and your beliefs, and through numbing. So some people numb with food, some people numb with shopping, some people numb with alcohol or drugs, whatever it happens to be. When we feel mentally deprived, chances are we're going to numb that emotion with something. And sadly, the thing that a lot of our clients are numbing themselves with is the thing that they so desperately want. So they're numbing themselves with food, and which is counteractive to what it is they want. So I need to whisper this next. I didn't know I was going to be on this stage. So the $60 billion industry includes everything that's in this. Sorry. But that doesn't mean that what is in this room isn't important. It's if people are relying on all of these external things to create the weight loss that they are striving for. What I would like to start inviting everyone in this room to consider is the idea of diet recovery with so many of our clients. So much damage has been done for our clients through the process of dieting. And the more our clients have dieted, the more damage that has been done. So I will tell you that one of the biggest demographics out there, if you choose to embrace it, is the diet recovery demographic. When we start shifting our focus from appearance to health and maintenance, everything changes. And I know it's difficult because in this industry we are very externally focused. I believe with every fiber of my being that that is changing. That we collectively as fitness professionals are getting it. The exercise component is just part of it. What are our clients truly craving? Wellness.
Happiness.
Happiness. What else? What are our clients truly craving? What are they feeding? Acceptance. Worthiness. Everyone is feeding and fueling the concept that somewhere I'm just not quite good enough. I would challenge almost anyone in this room to not have somewhere in life where they're just got that inkling, like I'm just not sure if I'm quite good enough to present at CamFit Pro. I think every single person in here should fill out an application for next year. Yes? So everyone that is dieting in an aggressive way, it's taking each one of those clients anywhere from 1 to 2 years to get their health, their diet recovery journey back on track. And the more people diet, the longer it takes. So a lot of times you're working so hard to provide your clients with something that their body is working just as hard to fight. So much of what our clients are bringing to you is the past. Would you agree with that? Your clients are coming to you with the concept of, I hope this works. I hope she can help me or he can help me. My God, I hope that at the end of this $5,000 I've paid that I've lost those 25 pounds that I've tried and tried and tried. And it keeps finding me. Here's the thing, if you recycle the past, you get the same future. Was anyone at the Women Who Influence conference? So Natalie Plamondon said something that was really interesting. She said, talk about your fears and your problems like they were in the past. So instead of saying, oh my God, I hope that I lose those 25 pounds, I am so proud that I've lost those 25 pounds. What you bring with you in your thoughts is going to create a very predictable future. And that goes for everything that our clients are bringing with them. Set point theory, we're just going to talk like 5 seconds on. Set point, hunger, and energy are controlled by the brain, not the stomach. And I get that our set point theory has many factors to it. It has genetics, it has hormones, it has menopause, it has diet history, it has exercise history, sleep, oppression, all of those things create set point theory. But here's the thing, it's all controlled by the brain, not the stomach. So I take you back to the question, what is it that our clients are actually feeding? What regulates our set point theory? Hypothalamus? And our hypothalamus is responsible for what? Homeostasis. And if we think of homeostasis like the furnace in our house, if we set it, it works effortlessly to keep the environment at a steady state. If we open a window in the middle of winter in Toronto, not on Vancouver Island because it's warm there in the winter, if you open the window in Toronto in the middle of winter, your house doesn't know why all of a sudden it's cold. It just knows that something's wrong, and it resets and recalibrates in order to accommodate that change in environmental temperature. And our set point is the same. Here's the thing with our clients that are coming to us who have been dieting for years. Our set point range very often goes up and it rarely comes down. So we could be working just as hard to change something that our body is working just as hard to keep the same. I'm not saying your set point range can't come down, I'm just saying it doesn't typically come down. So one thing I would love for you guys to consider as you move forward with your clients is the concept of set point range for your brain rather than your body. So a range of what you are willing to accept and be responsible for, and to include values that have very powerful, healthy metrics. And we're gonna talk about that in a sec. So, does anyone know what an intuitive eater is?
You're asking me? Yeah, intuitive eating is getting to know your body, your own needs, hunger cues, fullness cues, really being receptive to your body.
You got it. Eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full. Understanding and recognizing the feeling in your stomach and when it's full. That's an intuitive eater. A controlled eater is motivated by food. So one of the things that we're working so hard on with our clients is getting them to understand the importance of food. And we do that by modeling our own food behavior. And I'm going to talk about that in a sec because it's such a big part of what I would love to invite you to consider moving forward with your clients. So we're all born with a healthy approach to food, wouldn't you say? We learn to have an unhealthy approach to food. And a lot of it has to do with how we were brought up and who we mirror. That is where we learn initially. I was so lucky as a child, even though I lived in Aklavik and Fort Liard and Fort Simpson and Inuvik and Whitehorse 3 times. And where's my Whitehorse person? And Northern BC and all of these places. I did not know what it was like to not eat breakfast. We were not allowed to leave the house unless we had a healthy homemade breakfast. I did not know what it was like to have $5 to have pizza and hot dog day at school because I was expected to make my own lunch every single day when I went to school. I did not know what pizza for dinner was. My mom cooked dinner every night. We sat down as a family. So that is just what I knew. I didn't know anything different. So that is naturally what I modeled moving forward, but it isn't necessarily everyone's story. So we learn an unhealthy approach to food. Here's a big invitation. I'm going to ask everyone to just have an open mind for a sec here because this is such a powerful part of, I'm going to say, coaching. If we can draw a line in the sand, each and every one of us in this room, and get very clear on what works for us with our food and our exercise, and leave it at that, period, you are going to give such a gift to your clients. This is what works for me, but I get that it might not work for you. So in that process, you are enrolling your clients on the journey and in the journey of their weight loss project. If we stand here and tell them, this is what you need to eat for breakfast, this is what you don't do in the morning, this is what time you have to eat breakfast by, this is what percentage of your breakfast should be protein, this is when you need to eat next, this is how much water you should be drinking, this is the time of day you should do your cardio, and this is the time of day you should do your weights. I get it all. I truly do, and there's no judgment. What I'm saying is, it's possible that that might not work for your clients, even though it worked beautifully for you. Enrolling your clients in their journey sets them up for success and allows them to take responsibility for their failures and to be champions of their successes. Right away, that removes you from being responsible for their weight loss. Does anyone have any input that they want to share on that? Which part? Yes, I said about the line in the sand. If we can learn as fitness professionals to enroll our clients in their journey, just like you enroll your kid in cleaning their room, wouldn't it be amazing if your room was just like so spotlessly clean that you could eat your craft dinner off the floor? You are enrolling your kid in cleaning their room, you're not telling them to clean it. So if you can enroll your clients in the process, it removes the responsibility of you having to figure it out for them. It invites them into the journey and allows them to be responsible for their failures and to, what's the word, like celebrate, empowers their successes. Absolutely, and I am gonna, I'm gonna get to absolutely. Just because it's in my head right now and I'm trying to blah, blah, blah. One of the things I'm gonna say is that every person in this room, including myself when I was in the industry, our job is not to figure out our client's weight loss riddle. Our job is to guide them, motivate them, inspire them. It is our job to educate them, to kick their butt, and there's one other thing: educate, support, guide, motivate, and inspire. You bring all that to your clients' classes and sessions, you will enroll them in their journey. Good question. So the question was, what if you're doing all that stuff and you know that their mindset is not there? It's exactly. I would highly recommend for anyone in here who has a partnership with a coach, get them to hire a coach. A coach will help. Here's the thing, with the weight loss puzzle, it's never about the weight. It's about the thing that's under the thing that's connected to the thing that's got the thing under the thing. You catching what I'm throwing? It's about something that they're feeding underneath the weight loss. Every once in a while, you are going to be blessed with a client like Tracy, like I had. She was fully enrolled in her own journey before she ever came to me. My job was easy. I showed up, I counted, I figured out what would be fun to do. I asked her great questions, like, at the time I didn't know they were great questions, or maybe that's really arrogant. Let me just rephrase that. I asked her questions like, what was the favorite thing that we did in the last month that you want to do again? Gave her the option. She'd be like, oh my God, you know that thing that we did? That was the thing, that was the thing? That's what I want to do today. Cool, awesome. What was the worst meal that you made in the last month? Oh my God, I did this thing with the thing, the thing, the thing. Yeah, you're not going to do that again, are you? Nope, please don't tell me I have to do that again. Do you get what I'm saying? So enrolling our clients in their project is critical to their weight loss puzzle. About, I want to say maybe 13 years ago, I created a program called the Transformation Program, and that was long before the word transformation was such a cool word. I thought it was cool back then because it's more than 2 syllables. Yeah, so anyways, the Transformation Program was 6 months long, and it encompassed everything I could think of that someone would require in order to permanently change the habits that they had that got them to where they were. So it had an exercise component, it had a mindfulness component, it had a nutrition component, and it had, I can't remember, journaling component. And every Saturday, I would introduce my clients, the people in the program, to something different. So we ran stairs, we did track workouts, we did HIIT workouts, we did yoga, we did meditation, we did throw some stuff out at me. We didn't do step. spinning, anyways, whatever, regardless, every Saturday we did something different. And every Wednesday when we got together and I would say, you're gonna meet me here at blah, blah, blah time, and we're gonna do blah, blah, blah. You could see the look like, are you serious? I'm totally serious, it's gonna be so much fun. So at the end of the 6 months, I had introduced them to 15 or 20 different forms of exercise that they may never have done before. And the cool thing was, I didn't care if they ever did it again. I simply wanted to introduce them to stuff that they may never have done on their own and leave it up to them to decide what they love the most. Because here's the thing with your clients. If they love the form of exercise, they're gonna do it. If they hate it, they're not. And probably my biggest mistake, my biggest mistake with the transformation program was that I gave them a shit ton of new awarenesses and choices. What I didn't do was, at the time I didn't realize that I didn't enroll them enough in the program. Even though the program was super successful, if I knew then what I knew now, I would have enrolled every single one of those people in their own project. So, emotional blind spots. Emotions are information and they're feedback. And so much of the information that we're getting and the feedback, people don't like. It's uncomfortable. I'm scared. I'm worried about the future. I'm anxious. I'm afraid. I'm worried I'm not good enough. Whatever the fear might be, people have a hard time sitting in discomfort. But the beautiful thing about emotion is that it gives you a powerful message. So if you can encourage your clients to sit in their discomfort, can you imagine that? That's like asking someone to sit. It's like asking me to sit in an outhouse for half an hour because I'm petrified of outhouses. And open water, which leads me to believe I drowned in an outhouse in a previous life, but that's a different story. Here's the thing with, does anyone have their client's food journal? Put your hand way up so I can see. There's no right, wrong. So food journaling is super cool for you as the instructor because it gives you a lot of information, it gives you a lot of feedback. And it's beautiful to do. What I would invite you to consider with your food journals is get them to journal the emotion attached to the eating. Get them to discover for themselves patterns in why they go to the pantry at 7:30 at night and they don't even realize they're there until half the package of crackers are in their stomach. How am I doing? So sitting in the emotion allows people to understand, oh my God, I'm afraid my spouse is gonna leave me. That's what this is all about. You never know, it might be the best 200 pounds you ever lost. So then, if you can get your clients to sit in their emotion, they might go, just make me do more burpees. That's probably what they're gonna say. If you can get them to sit in their discomfort and to journal it, the next thing that's amazing is if you can get them to attach values to those emotions. Values are unbelievably important. It's amazing when I'm working one-on-one with clients, how many of my clients don't understand what their core values are. And that is no judgment, they've just never stopped to really consider. So when I'm working with clients one-on-one, we do a project where we identify our core values, and way more importantly, we establish the metric by which we measure that value. Our values determine the nature of our problems, and the nature of our problems determines the quality of our lives. So if the nature of our problem is, I'm 10 pounds overweight, or I don't look good in a bathing suit, you know, you think about where we are and all the things that are going on in the world. If that is the nature of our problem, it's going to determine the quality of our life. So how do we measure those values? Has anyone ever done this before? I'm going to use a really simple analogy of success, because for a lot of people, success is a value, and there's nothing wrong with having value as a success. I applaud anyone who does. The question I would have you ask yourself is, how do I measure that? If you measure success by how many houses or cars or watches or shoes or running shoes in this case you have, then that's a very distinct way of measuring success. If you measure success by, I am able to every single day be in nature and at the end of the day smile and play with my children and eat a healthy meal, then that is a metric by which that person measures success. So getting very, very clear with your values, but more importantly, is the metric by which you measure them. This is an amazing thing to take on with your clients, especially moving forward, your brand new clients that are just coming to you, because your current clients, especially if you've had them for 2 or 3 or 4 years, they might go, what? Burpees, please. So, I just want to come up with a couple of values and some measurements. I'm just curious if anyone's willing to try this on. Just come up with one of your core values, and then I'm curious how you measure it. Silence. Okay, that's a value. Just kidding. It's really hard in this environment. So this 90-minute presentation was supposed to be in a lecture hall, and I really wanted to have a lot of conversations with people. So this is, I'm gonna share something with you guys at the end of this session, a beta testing that I'm gonna do just for participants at CamFit Pro, and a lot of it is gonna have to do with core values and metrics, so we could take that one step deeper. So I have here, healthy values and metrics will always provide an environment of pleasure and success. They will naturally emerge from healthy values and metrics. Without healthy metrics and values, success and pleasure basically become empty highs or the pursuit of more. So with our clients, I'm going to encourage you to start answering these questions for yourself and with your clients. It's a beautiful series of questions to almost use as part of your intake interview with new clients that are coming on one-to-one. So what's underneath it all? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, with every one of our clients and with ourselves. In everything that we do, and especially with the weight loss riddle, because it is so complex, what is underneath it all? Why is this so important to you? A lot of people will not be able to answer that. It will be answered by my husband or my wife will leave me if I don't. I cannot apply for if I'm not. You know, the X equals Y. So what is underneath it all? What are they afraid of? What are they running from? What are they focusing all their energy on this task so intensely for? Ask your clients, what's underneath it all? What are you recommending to your clients? Where is the love, the joy, and the play in life? Has anyone read the book that just came out by, I want to say it's Susan Hyatt, called Bear? She talks a lot about discovering the joy in life. So many people in their weight loss riddle, there is no joy. It's just hell. Someone the other day, I can't remember which presentation I was at, was saying, oh, I know women who influence. I can't remember the lady at the end. She said, she's a professional bodybuilder, and she was saying there is not one single workout that she goes, oh my God, I so love doing those extra slow, horrifically painful squats. She's like, nope, every single one of them, it's tough. But she does it because she loves the results and the outcome. So where is the love and the joy and the play in the weight loss riddle? What is your role for your clients in terms of love, joy, and play in their journey? Ask your clients these beautiful questions. What do you love most about our workouts? What do you love to do the most that we've done together? What is the one thing that I keep doing that you just hate, that would make you not want to come to a session? What is something I can do to support you on this journey? Those questions are so powerful. They are so loaded with information for you. Rather than showing up and saying, okay, 20 more, we're burping for an hour. Detoxing and decluttering your space. And by space, yes, I mean your environment, but I also mean your mind. So ask your clients, who are they following on Instagram? Because that's such a big part of today's world. Who are they following on Instagram? Are they empowering them to rise up, or are they creating an environment where your clients are just constantly comparing themselves to this other person's life? So who are they following on Instagram? Who are they following on Facebook? What are they watching on Netflix? What are they watching on TV? What are the magazines that are laying around their house? What are the books that they're reading? What do the clothes in their closet look like? It's amazing how many of our clients have their fat clothes and their future skinny clothes hanging in their closet. And here's the thing about their fat clothes and their future skinny clothes. It's a reminder that they're not good enough. It's a reminder of failure. I get for some people it's motivation. I would encourage your clients to get rid of their fat clothes and buy clothes that make them feel good today. Make them feel good about themselves today. So really detoxing and decluttering their mind, their cupboards, their reading space, everything is a very important foundation for a healthy approach to this project. A new relationship to food and self. This might require outsourcing. So I know everyone in this room is familiar with outsourcing to chiropractors and to physical therapists and massage therapists and whoever else you need on your team. If you know of a food coach or a health coach or a life coach, just a life coach in general, see if your clients are open to the idea of getting another level or another team member on board to help them with their success. So awareness and choice, that's how I base all of my coaching work with all of my clients. Without awareness, there can be no new choice. So our job as coaches is to elevate people out of their box so they can look down and go, holy shit, I never thought of that before. You got all these choices laying on the outside of the box that you cannot see when you are in the box. So awareness leads to choice. And the choice might be to stay in the box, and that's perfectly okay if that's what they choose. But it might be something that they never ever thought of before. Commitment and intention. Does everyone in here, let me ask Sarid, who would be willing to share with me what their commitment is each and every time they come to teach a class or with a client? Anyone in here?
Give my all. Give my all. Give my passion. Be present.
So Kim is to give it her all and to be very present. Anyone else willing to share what their intention is? Sorry, commitment. What's your first name? Josephine. Josephine wants to be positive. Anyone else? So the commitment is to make someone feel really good. Again, for those of you who have a commitment that they bring into each and every session, what I'd like to invite you to do is to go one step deeper and to ask yourself, what is my intention within my commitment? That is going to be a piece of gold for you when you're working with your clients. So my commitment today was to come here and to share and to connect and to have a conversation and to learn. But my intention was to provide everyone with an experience that they are good enough, that everything that you are doing is beautiful and there's more out there. To challenge you to look outside your box to see that what you can do for your clients. I'm doing a podcast with someone from England next week, which is kind of cool, and it's on responsibility and fault. So with our clients and with ourselves, in our relationships, just let me go back here. In our relationships, there is such a powerful distinction between responsibility and fault. For anyone in this room that's able to make a very clear distinction for themselves, where responsibility ends, you are going to walk through this world with your head high and with so much more power. Because here's the thing, if we show up fully responsible for our thoughts and our words and our actions, and we allow everyone else to show up responsible for theirs, then we stop owning everyone else's. We stop owning our clients' failures. And in every failure, there's what? There's information, there's feedback, let them fail and then enroll them again. Let them fail and enroll them again. If you take on the responsibility for every one of those failures, you are going to burn out of this industry. So getting very clear, if your intention and your commitment are beautifully clear, and you have a very clear line in the sand where you are showing up fully responsible, allow them to. There's such a difference between fault and responsibility. If someone left a baby on your doorstep, here's a great example. If someone left a baby on your doorstep, it's not your fault they did that, but it is your responsibility to figure out what to do with the baby. If your client continuously goes and sits inside the fridge every night at 7:30 and eats their way through the fridge, that is not your fault. It is your responsibility as their coach to give them the guidance and support that they require in order for them to figure out, why do I sit in the fridge every night at 7:30 at night? So getting really clear, and this is so important with our relationships in life too, especially the relationships that are closest to us, our spouses, our partners, our children. If you can get really clear on what you're responsible for, and you can start allowing other people to be responsible for how they show up, it takes so much pressure off of you. Does anyone have any comments? Any thoughts that they want to share? Because we're compressing down into 3.5 minutes. I want to share with you something that I just came up with. I have a program called Voice of Choice, which is a 6-hour coaching Zoom program. And normally I do this for the general population. I really want to beta test this program for fitness professionals. So I'm going to open up an opportunity to do this program starting in September. It's 3 weeks, 1 day a week for 2 hours. This program is usually $300 a person. Anyone that from CanFit Pro that follows these two and sends me a message saying CanFit Pro so I know who you are, that's interested in doing this 6-hour program, it's going to be $99. Everything that you learn, you will be able to take into every one of your coaching sessions or classes with your clients. I guarantee you. It will be a gift for your clients. I'm going to stay afterwards for a few minutes. If anyone has any thoughts or ideas that they would like to share, I'm here for you. I apologize. Like I said, this was supposed to be 90 minutes, so I had a lot more stuff. But go forth. Run. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. Take care. So much, Mia. That was amazing.